Hey YouTube, we're back again. Should we say something specific?
No, I think the title, whatever we title it, will be self-explanatory. Basically, we would like to take a few minutes of your time to rail against ignorant morons on both sides of the argument. And we've agreed that we originally were going to rail against our own people, but now we're just going to kind of work together because we might.
Yeah, I don't see the point. If he's railing against someone, I might as well rail against them too.
It might be funnier that way too.
Yeah.
So we made a little list of people, YouTube people and non-YouTube people, that we don't like.
Yeah, and eventually maybe I might think of another one right now because it's a little uneven. He's got 2 and I've got 1.
But it's okay because my points are shorter.
Okay.
Topping the list, we have Edward Current.
Alright, now originally he does satires, and obviously satires are supposed to be dickish, but you know, when you're doing a satire against someone and those people look at it, it's not going to open their mind to a debate or a discussion when they recognize. In fact, my mom watched one of Ed Current's videos, and she's like, he's not a Christian. And I actually told her later, I'm like, it's a satire. He's supposed to be an asshole. But she was just like, I don't like this person. He's you know, and granted, that's, I think, the point, but I think it's dickish to go out because at the very most, you want to sit down and maybe, well, I don't know if he meant for these videos to be watched by Christians or not, but they still are dickish because any Christian that stumbles across them, it's going to look, you know, like, oh, you want to, you know, make fun of me, and it's just going to make them angry. You have anything to point out?
Basically, I watched this dude, and it was the first time I've ever watched him, and I was confused at first because I didn't know he was a satire. So I thought he was seriously making this like 10-point argument against atheists. I think the video was called Checkmate Atheist.
Yeah, it was.
Check it out and laugh your butt off because it is so funny. Basically, the guy uses 10 different versions of circular reasoning to explain why Christendom is better than atheism.
Yes, and as a satire, it was a satire. It worked.
I won't go into it. You can watch it yourself. But basically, he made us look very stupid, and I'm sure there are people that watched that video and agreed with it, not knowing that the guy was an atheist. I feel sorry for those people.
Yeah, but
I was not one of them.
And Next. Mystical Forest.
Okay.
Oh Lord. Oh, this.
Dear Jesus in heaven. Listen, boy. Do not sit down in your computer with a poster of 300 saying, "Tonight we dine in hell," directly behind you, use every single cuss word imaginable, and then claim you're a Christian. I'm sorry, that just makes you look incredibly stupid.
And not to mention, he kind of railed off on science when he didn't. I don't think he had an actual understanding of what science really is.
I think he had the definitions of hypothesis and theory confused. I think he was a little confused on the way God made animals in the Bible. People came from dust. That's it. Just wanted to point that out. Basically, I didn't even watch the whole video because the guy's
that dickish.
Well, he's an idiot. I mean, he wanted to say the right things. He just didn't know how to say them.
Yeah.
And instead, he made himself look stupid. The only good point he made that I liked in the least was his point about ants. Mm-hmm. And if to God we are ants, then we can't figure out God, and then that means ants must not be able to figure us out. That's not exactly how I said it, but that was the gist of it, and that was the only really...
Well, I would actually agree with him on that point. If God does exist, he's going to be, in a way, if he did exist, he would be something so alien to our intellect and to our thought that we wouldn't be able to really comprehend it.
Exactly.
I mean, you know, that's just my point of view. But, and I will tell you this because you didn't watch the entire video. He actually goes off to threaten violence against someone. He said something about, I wish you'd say that to my face so I could, like, beat the hell out of you. And, you know, I'd probably shove my boot down on your face with some, you know, stuff on the end of my boot. And then you'd probably wish God would come out and save you, but he won't because you don't believe in him, or something like that. And it's just
Very
like
Christian. Oh yes.
yeah.
Win them over for our side.
Yeah, good job. It just really pissed me off. It literally, the video made me, like, the first time I watched it, it made me so angry I got physically sick to my stomach. And that's something that if you're going to say that to the other side and it's going to make them that angry, they're not going to listen to it in the least. And of course we found this video through someone who's known as Coughlin666. Now granted, Coughlin makes some good points. Granted, he can also be an ass, but again, the middle quotes and his name is The Dick. So obviously he's already pointed out, yes, he's going to be an asshole, and that's fine. That's going, look, I'm going to be an asshole, but you know I'm an asshole. So
right,
it's like a disclaimer a little bit.
Exactly.
Which, fair enough, but this guy kind of irritated me because he talks about, this stuff, this, that, and the other, and he doesn't understand the opposite side, and I think that's important. If you're going to go, say something about science or whatever your topic is, please, if Mystic Force, if you were watching this, please just check out the other side. Review it fully, not through just your sources like apologetics, but look it up from what the other people are saying, what the actual other side is saying. That way you have a full, intimate knowledge of what they're saying. And then you can go from there and go, well, here's what they're saying. I don't agree with this point because of reasons A, B, and C. So I think that would be a better way to go about it than just go off on a complete rant when you don't seem to understand it.
I love how you're nicer to him than I am, because this is what I have to say. Don't get on YouTube with your webcam with a 3rd grade grammar level and try to rail about something you don't know about.
True. See, he for some reason he seems to make up the nastiness. I'm generally maybe a little too nice to people, but he tends to make up for it with being a lot more blatant and out there and honest, which is something I agree with. I just don't do it because I suck at that. It happens. But, excuse me, I'm, I guess, a little nicer to people in general, but I don't, I need to be more open, and he holds that side.
Yeah, and I try to be as respectful as possible, but whenever you're making my religion that much less credible, when I try to win over somebody, you're not helping me, and that just makes me upset.
Yeah, I kind of would agree. If I was back where your side was, I would be agreeing with you fully on that. I just don't like it when people do that.
I guess that's something to add in. He used to be a Christian.
Yeah. As far as the intro video goes, I used to be a Christian for a long time. Raised, born, accepted Jesus into my heart, was a, etc., etc., etc. What happened was, past year, about past year and a half, I talked to another atheist online who I had met previously at a convention, and we discussed things, and when I was done, I felt like I didn't have, at least from what I saw in my perspective, I didn't have enough evidence to say God exists. So until we meet again, YouTube, signing off.